Hi everyone, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a really easy and simple cat toy. So what you're going to need, yarn of whatever color you want. I just have this neon stuff from when I made my loom hat video. I have some leftovers, so I'm going to use that. You're going to need scissors, something to wrap your yarn around with. However big it is how big your pom-pom for your cat toy is going to be. And this next part is optional, is a stick. It just makes it easier to play with. Like you could use like a long wooden dowel. I don't have any right now. What I have is this stick that came in fiber fill stuff. You use to like stuff pillows with. It came in that, and I have a couple of them, so I'm going to just use this as my cat toy stick. First, you're going to need to wrap your yarn around this thing a whole bunch of times to make your pom-pom. Now, if you already know how to make pom-pom, this part will be easy for you. You just wrap it around and try to make it so it doesn't and then wrap around the end part so that it doesn't fall off. Just wrap it around this thing a whole lot. You just wrap it around this. The more you wrap it, the thicker and fluffier your pom-pom will be, and the more your cat will probably like it. You just wrap it, and you wrap it, and you just keep wrapping it. So mine was blue and now it's black because I have yarn that it changes color. Just keep wrapping. And now, I have some green yarn in the mix. And you just keep wrapping until you think it's thick enough. See, I still don't think this is thick enough. I just gotta keep wrapping it until I think it's good. Just keep wrapping. Now, there's no specific, how many times you should wrap this, but just wrap it until you think it's good. Wrap it, a lot. Don't, wrap it like this is definitely not enough. See, it's not very much. So, the more you have it, the thicker and fluffier your pom-pom will be. Now I have pink. Yay! And see, I've started sliding off this because this is rounded. You gotta start moving over to this part of it now. And make sure it doesn't fall off. Just keep wrapping it around the same direction. Same direction. Just keep wrapping and keep wrapping and keep wrapping until you think it's good. It's up to you how thick you want your pom-pom. Just keep wrapping until you think it's good, or say maybe if you only have a little bit of yarn, if you run out of it. It's up to you how much you want to wrap. I'm going to just keep wrapping some more. Kind of really nice, thick, fluffy pom-pom. And see, it started falling off. I got it back on there. And see, now I got purple. Almost. I think that ought to be pretty good. So then you're going to just go and you wrap it until it's down at the bottom of your thing. And then you're going to just trim it so it's even with the bottom of your thing, basically. Like that. Now you don't want this to unwrap. You guys kind of keep it sitting there. And then take some of your yarn. Underneath. You got to go underneath all of it. Under there. Between it and wherever you wrapped it around. Try not to miss any of the yarn strands. Make sure you go under it. And then you pull it like that. And then you just pull this piece. Make sure it's over as far as you can get it. And then just take these two roughly to the middle of your thing. And just knot them a whole bunch. Like that. First one's going to be hard to get to stay tight. But then once you get the second one, it's easier. You want to stay as tight as possible. That's pretty good. That's actually perfect. It's a cat toy and they'll rip it apart eventually. There. And you just tie it 3, maybe 4 times. You want to make sure it's going to last because your cat will be tugging on it and stuff. And then you're going to, now you have this tied like this. You're going to just, now it's really snug because you wrapped it around there a lot. You're going to want to take this off of here. It's going to be a little tricky. Probably easier for me to use this because this is plastic, so it bends a little bit, so it makes it a little easier. There, and then you have this big loop of yarn. You don't want to mess with it too much because you want it to kind of keep its shape like this, as a big loopy thing. Now here, I'll show you how to do the next part. So remember, this is where we tied, right here. Now you're going to take this piece of yarn that you had tied, and you're going to lay them like this, and you're going to flip it so that the side that's not tied is up. And then you're going to tie these two pieces of yarn together again. And knot them as tight as you can get, like on the other side. As tight as you can possibly make them. Because you want the yarn to stay together for a while for your cat to play with it. Because your cat will eventually rip it apart. You're going to tie it a few times so that it doesn't untie. That looks about good. And then you're going to take this part, make it so it looks about even with your loops. And then you're going to just cut them so that they'll end up being loops. They'll just end up being strings in your pom-pom. And then your little scrap you can just throw away. Now you're done with the cut with the little whatever you wrapped it around. Now we gotta make this into like a pom-pom. First thing first, see all these loops? This doesn't look anything like a pom-pom. You gotta cut all the loops. Like I said, if you already know how to make a pom-pom, this will be a lot easier for you. But if not, see, I'm teaching you how. These ones, some cats will play with these, but my one cat doesn't really like toys a whole lot. But my younger one, who's still sort of in my mind a kitten, loves toys and thinks they all need to be attacked. So if you have cats and stuff that like to attack things, this type of toy will be really good for you because it can kind of wiggle a little bit and it'll make them go nuts. Now this pom-pom, when you make pom-pom, sometimes you trim them down and make them look nice. If it's going to be for a cat, it doesn't really have to look nice because they're not really going to care that much. You can make it look as nice as you want. Just don't spend like extra time on it because your cat will eventually rip it apart. Just keep going until you cut all of the loops. You don't want any of the loops to stay loops. You want them all to be just strands of string that have been cut. You can kind of just look through and feel if you find any loops in there. If you find any loops, just chop them into strings. Like see, I found this whole big chunk right here of blue ones. And I just went through and I cut them, and now they're all strings again. I'm going to go through and make sure I didn't miss any. Don't think I did. So then you just have this big pom-pom, which, like, if you wanted to, you could, like, trim it down and make it look a lot nicer. But in my experience, my cats usually like it better when they're long and, like, crazy because they can wiggle more and the cat will, like, think it needs to be attacked. But you can trim it down however you want. This is how I'm going to leave it. So now you're going to take, remember how you have the yarn wrapped around the middle? You're going to kind of try to make it so that both sides of yarn are back on their original sides like this. And then you're going to take your yarn, mine fell on the floor, and take some of it, and find your end. You could have just left the end, like tied on and not cut it off, but I just cut it off so it's easier to cut the loops without that yarn in the way. And you're going to take this, you're going to tie it around the middle. And you're going to just take this and lay it right there, and then take the middle where your yarn is tied already. If it's not perfect, it's okay. Lay it there, and then just tie this in a couple knots. You could just toss this pom-pom to your cat and let them play with it by themselves, but by putting this string on it again, and then tying it to a stick, you can play with them, because you can like make it move, and they'll probably like it better this way. Just tie a few knots, and then just take this chunk right here, this extra one, and just cut it to the length of some of your other strings, and then just throw away the extra. And then, see, when you cut them, sometimes you get this little fluffy mess stuff, so you just clean that up. And the more haircut you give your pom-pom, the more mess it'll make. And now that you tied the string onto it, see, it's all like, you can make it like wiggle. Your cat will try to kill it. And then you can just figure out how long you want your string to be. Now the longer your stick is, the shorter your string could be. Since I have a fairly short stick, it's just a stuffing stick, I want my string to be fairly long, so I think it's going to be about to here. Because the stick will also make it so you don't have to reach your arm way out to hold it over them. You can just like hold the stick out and wiggle it. I think I found about the right length I like, so I'm going to just cut my yarn. Now you can either just tie it on your stick if you want, or do whatever you want, but for me, I'm going to make a loop and make a knot in that loop. Just make it a knot like this. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's just for the cat. And the cat will shred this part eventually. And then pull that loop through so that it gets bigger like that. And then put your stick in it. This will make it more like your cat could pull it off, but it's also make it so once your cat rips this apart, you can take it off easier and put a new one on. Now I'm going to slide it down to this end because this end's bigger. And you just pull it as tight as you can get if you did it my way. And then there, you have a cat toy. It's really simple because you don't want to make it too extravagant because your cat is going to shred it, like I said already. If you like cat toy videos, like stuff for cats, give us a thumbs up. Comment down below what else I should make for like pets and stuff. And subscribe. Bye!